Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this recap of Summerslam, the hottest night of the summer that was held last night from the Cleveland Browns Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. We're not just going to waste any time. We're going to go right on into the event, and we started it off with the first fight of the night, which was for the WWE Women's World Championship, as it was the champion Liv Morgan going one on one with the challenger Rhea Ripley. And when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 15 minutes and 50 seconds, and still the women's world champion, Liv Morgan. She shocks the world. But here's the thing, during the match, there was a really good psychology and everything else. You can say this is about 3 and 3/4 to pretty much close to 4 stars. Now, the reason why, uh, the way that the story went, it went like this. So we started out with obviously Liv kind of trying to play cat and mouse with Rhea. Rhea getting a little frustrated, and you knew at some point Rhea's gonna get her hands on her, and when she does, it's gonna be bad news. Well, it started almost immediately, right out of the way, and yeah, it started, and Rhea started to dominate the fight. But there was a moment where she got hurt. Her shoulders started to get affected, so she started. It was looking bad for her for a moment. Then she's able to use the announce table to pop the shoulder back into place. And from there, you're thinking, all right, this must be, now Rhea's going to really start to dominate. She did. Liv introduced the chair, and Rhea hit her finisher, Riptide. And when she was thinking, you know what? Nah, you know what? The hell with this. I want to end Liv's career for everything she did to me. Now, Dominic was there at ringside, like, wait a minute, no, 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 no. He grabs the chair from Rhea and is like, no, 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 no. If you do that, you get disqualified, and not only do you not get your revenge on, and not only do you not get your revenge on her, you probably don't get another shot at the title. Like this is endgame if you do this. So cooler heads prevail. All right, fine. But then you notice something. Dominic throws the chair back into the ring. Well, this is after Liv hit Oblivion. Got only a 2 count, so you're thinking, oh my God, that was probably Liv's best chance to win the fight. It ain't gonna happen now. Rhea's probably walking out the champion. The thing is, Dom grabs the chair, throws it back into the ring nonchalantly. Next thing we know, here he starts to distract the referee. Liv hits Oblivion on that chair. 1, 2, 3. It's done. Liv successfully defends the title, stunning the crowd. Then, in what undoubtedly turned out to be the biggest ruse of all time, Dom grabs, basically helps Liv up, looks her in her eye, and kisses her right in front of mommy, and the crowd goes nuts. Commentary wise, I was trying to play. Now this is where I got to be face commentator, so I have no qualms on this one. So when the moment happens, I'm commentating the moment, saying Liv survives, Liv successfully defends the women's world title, and then I see Dom pick her up. I'm like, Dom picks up Liv. What is going on? And then when I see the kiss, I just yell out, "Oh my God!" And the next thing we know, Anthony has a shock look, and Michael Bullock absolutely goes nuclear on Dominic Mysterio.
Kind of like the way Michael Cole did.
That's exactly what I had you doing.
Dominic, you 2-time son of a bitch.
Yup. And I exactly.
And then Pat McAfee was like, "This piece of trash. I mean, screws his father. Now screws his mommy."
Yup. And that is exactly how I had the moment. It was literally, I yell out, "Oh my God!" Florio's like, "Oh my!" He's like, he.
It's the two-tone tango, MF.
Exactly. He goes like that. then I have Michael Bullock freaking out by basically calling Dominic Mysterio, basically saying, "You piece of shit! You screwed mommy over, you self-centered son of a bitch!" And goes off.
Then I would have added, the two of them can go straight to hell.
Well, that's while they're walking up the rampway, heading up as they're heading up the rampway and everything else. But yeah, we were stunned, to say the very least. But hey, we saw it. We knew it was going to happen. We just didn't know how it was going to happen. But my God, what a way! So here we go, winner and still the women's world champion. It's Liv Morgan. Anthony Florio. Boy, did we have a moment with that commentary, man. Like I said, it was absolute gold what happened to us last night.
Oh my God, yes. We had a lot of fun with this and then some. I'll tell you, MF, with the exception of the dislocated shoulder being a bit cheesy, most of this bout was entertaining. We saw a lot of storytelling, so they were taking their time and making each move count instead of trying to go 100 miles an hour. A lot of this was overbooked and overdramatic, but it was done in such a way that it was easy to have fun with it. And you could, gentlemen, can you read looks? Can you read looks? Rhea Ripley? Did you see that look in her face? Did you see that look?
Oh my gosh. Part of me was like, oh, Liv and Dom, you two made the biggest mistakes of your entire life. If you thought Rhea Ripley was pissed off already, she is taking it to a whole new level.
I don't know. I felt like she was like absolutely heartbroken. Like she looked like she was dude. It looked like she was. I think she was absolutely blindsided by that betrayal, because she thought she had Dirty Dom. Basically, she thought she had everything. She thought that the whole thing with Dirty Dom was over and done with. She thought that she had it. She had everything going down. She thought she had it. And the next thing we know, oh no, you didn't have it, Rhea.
And what does Stone Cold Steve Austin always like to say?
DTA, don't trust anybody. That's what Stone Cold Steve Austin always likes to say, Bullock.
Yeah. Exactly.
I ain't no Johnny come lately on the damn block, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on top of everything. So the reason I asked that, gentleman, was I have a very astute observation I want to make on this. Rhea Ripley looked like she wanted to kill Dom after he kissed Liv Morgan.
You think?
Yeah, I think. Raw will be very interesting come tomorrow night. There's no doubt about it. Ripley and Dom were followed from backstage by a camera for her entrance. Little production changes like that have made some aspects of WWE feel fresh again. And you notice referee Eddie Orango wearing a ref cam, a small camera setup on his earpiece so we could see shots from his viewpoint. Another great movie. Another great new addition to the production. Anyone who has seen a real dislocated shoulder knows Ripley's was fine. WWE had several ads on the ring mat. Some of the changes by TKO are not so great. And then not just Michael Bullock, but Pat McAfee went on a not so PG tirade about Dom, and rightfully so. So, yes, indeed. So, initially it's a 4-star, but I'm bumping it down to 3.5 to 3 3/4, even though this was storyline progression, and the best story on Raw just got even better. and even more interesting. And we are all here for it, and we cannot wait to see what happens in Baltimore come tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw on Sci-Fi. So, oh my, get ready. Like the Reverend Slick said at the start of the '92 Survivor Series, let the fireworks begin. 3.5, 3 3/4 of a star, down from 4. Michael Bullock, go! Wow,
Woo. Man, 3.5, 3 3/4. Like you said, I was gonna give it 4, but the overbooked finish did take away from it. But man, oh man, yeah, you could see that. And what did I say, guys? I mean, was Rhea Ripley going to be more focused on beating up Liv Morgan or regaining the women's world title that she never lost?
You said she was going to be more focused on getting revenge on beating the holy hell out of Liv. She didn't give a damn about the title. She wanted to hurt Liv.
As soon as she grabbed the chair, I'm like thinking, winning the title was the last thing on her mind.
She can get it back whenever she wants. It's just that right now,
Liv Morgan for everything that she's done.
She's on a revenge tour of her own. Think about it. We could call this the mommy's revenge tour.
Oh yeah, and the mommy's revenge tour now, I think, has just got taken to a whole new level. I mean, as soon as Dominic kissed Liv Morgan, I was like, oh shit, this is not gonna go well. Rhea was heartbroken. She may be heartbroken now, boys, but I think come Monday night, if you thought that she was pissed and angry already, it's just gonna get taken up to a whole new level. That not only she wants Liv Morgan's blood, but damn it, she's gonna want Dominic's blood. And what is it I've said so many times? Like we said with what happened with Liv Morgan. What did we say? Hell have no fury like a woman scorned. And that's what happened. And I would not want to be anywhere near Rhea Ripley come tomorrow night. I don't think anybody should be around her, because she is going to be on a path of destruction until she gets her mitts on not just Liv, but Dominic as well. And I'm sure somewhere right now, Rey Mysterio's probably like, I told you so. I told you that you can't trust Dominic. And unfortunately for Rhea, she found out the hard way. Yeah. Yeah, not only is Dominic a son of a bitch, but Liv Morgan is the biggest Jezebel right now in WWE. Far and away, bar none. 3.5, 3 3/4. Fletch, all I can say is I don't think any of us would want to be anywhere near Rhea Ripley right now.
Oh no, and you want to talk about craziness for Monday Night Raw tomorrow night? Dude, they've already confirmed 11,000 tickets has been sold for Monday Night Raw.
Damn.
In Baltimore, Maryland. And that's not even adding the rest. 11,000 tickets sold for Raw tomorrow night. Like,
yeah, and then you saw afterwards backstage, Damian Priest. I mean, you thought,
oh, he was pissed.
He was pissed. He was like, hey Finn, did you know what was going on? Because he was saying, where is that little prick?
Yeah.
And
well, you know how close he is with Rhea. I mean, he considers her nothing but a sister. So for him to do that,
and he was the one that knew that Rhea was coming back that night when they had that mixed tag team match.
Yeah.
He knew it, but Dom didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So he loves her like a sister. And you saw them on that stage during the during the kickoff on Friday.
Yep.
They were like brother and sister. So, yeah, Dom better not be anywhere near Damian Priest as well.
Well, Priest got his own problems. We'll get into that.
We're going to get into that later. Yeah, we're going to get into that later on because, yeah, that's all I'll say. So, yeah. Nothing more to say, Fletch. Let's move on to the next match.
Yeah, this was, I mean, you want to talk about craziness and then some. But then we go into the next match, Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title. The winner of the bout, 5 minutes and 40 seconds. And new Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Braun Breaker. History made, unprecedented crowning. Breaker takes the title, much to the shock of no one. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
2.5 stars. This was a back and forth match that saw both competitors pull out most of the tricks in their arsenals. They each survived some of each other's biggest moves, but 2 spears in a row won Breaker the title. This was not a long match, but it didn't need to be. Sami Zayn still looked like a strong champion, but the story told is that Breaker learned from his previous loss and had Sami's number. This may have fallen short of their first match, but it made the new champion look like a badass. Breaker really went for it when he hit the post, and that Frankensteiner looked awesome. And did you see that Legends suite at Cleveland Browns Stadium?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you have loved, the three of us, wouldn't we have loved to have been up there with those legends hanging out and watching SummerSlam? And
there are 2 certain legends that were there, especially for this match.
Yep. But before I get into that, how cool would it have been if any of the 3 of us or all 3 of us were up there with those legends, like your Steiner brothers, your Kevin Nashes, your X-Pacs, your Diamond Dallas Pages, and Jacqueline Moores even. I mean, man, not only to watch SummerSlam, but to listen to their, I'm sure they would have told some great stories from their days. I mean, that would have been freaking awesome. I mentioned that because, yes, the Steiner brothers, his father, Braun Breaker's father, the dog-faced gremlin, Rick Steiner, and his uncle, Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner, they were up there. There was a video that went around on social media showing the Steiners. You know, they had a nice little moment with DDP after the match was over. I mean, when I saw that, I'm like, oh man, that just made my night right there. Seeing those legends, oh, great, awesomeness. But nothing more to say, guys. A star has been born here. 2.5 stars. There's no question about it. Congratulations, Braun Breaker. I am not at all surprised by this. I had this one. Bullock had this one. MF did have a little bit of some doubt on Monday night, but I'm sure once he saw the match, I'm like, yeah, any doubt that he had, gone. Forget it. So, and we'll see what he says about it when we get to him. But nonetheless, by default, this was the worst fight of the night, even though it was nothing remotely bad about it. 2.5 stars for me. So, Michael Bullock, whoa, a star. A new star has now officially been born. Braun Breaker, the new Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. And he did it in 5:42. Well, 5:40 rather. 2.5 stars.
Yeah, 2.5 stars. I mean, what can you say? Yeah, I mean, this was a star was born in Braun Breaker, and it all culminated with him becoming the new Intercontinental champion, and to do it in front of his dad and his uncle, I'm sure that's got to be a great moment for him. 2.5 stars by default. This is the worst fight of the night, even though there wasn't anything remotely bad about it. So yeah, congratulations to Braun Breaker. Nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
16th time the Intercontinental title changes hands at SummerSlam, more than any other title in the history of SummerSlam. And we had another moment last night.
Yes, we did, and no doubt about it. 2.5 stars. Totally agree with the match. You guys said it. This was Braun's night, and he proved to be worthy of the moment. So, yes, great win for him. Definitely deserving of being the new Intercontinental champion. And Yeah, so upward and onwards for his career now that he is the champion. So we'll see what happens and who his next challengers will be, and we'll figure out down that line. All right. Next up, we had was for the United States Heavyweight Championship. The challenger, LA Knight, the reigning champion, was Logan Paul. When it was all said and done, winner of the bout in 12 minutes even, and new United States Heavyweight Champion, L.A. Knight.
Night.
Yeah.
Michael Bullock, it is all yours.
Yeah.
And what do we say when there's a new champion, Fletch?
Yes, history has been made. Unprecedented crowning. I said it, and uh, the thing was that the moment the three happened, I basically had to hide for cover because these two guys started yelling all over the place after the three count happened. All, all I all I just heard was yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like, oh my god, I couldn't even get the word history was made unprecedented crowning because these guys were yanning like crazy.
Well, I wanted to make sure you got that out tonight. So
yes, go ahead, Bullock. It is yours.
So yeah, 3.5 stars is my rating on it. And all I can say is, without a shadow of a doubt, it's about damn time. I mean, LA Knight. I mean, he's been getting built for so long, and we keep wondering, when is he going to get a singles title of any kind? And in my honest opinion, and I know Foyer will agree with me, I don't know about Fletch, he should have had a moment like this at WrestleMania. Not to say that it's I mean, SummerSlam's a big event, especially in that Cleveland Brown Stadium, but this should have been at WrestleMania. But to me, it's better late than never, and it's his first singles title of any kind. He never had it in NXT. I know some people are saying, well, wait a minute, he had the $1 million belt, but to me, that doesn't even count. He never even, I mean, in NXT, he never had the NXT title. He never had the North American title. He never even had the tag team titles. And we keep wondering, once he made the main roster, when is he going to get it? Now he finally does. And Logan Paul, once again, he tried to cheat his way to retaining the title with those brass knucks, thanks to some help from Machine Gun Kelly. I mean, but all in all, it didn't work. And yeah, there's really nothing more to say except new United States champion. And yeah, everybody in that Cleveland Brown Stadium was excited. So 3.5 stars. And all I gotta say once again, Fletch, as I give it to you, yeah.
It was long waited. It was long waited. Everybody wanted it, and now we got it. LA Knight finally winning the United States Heavyweight Championship. Absolutely a great moment for him. Congratulations. History indeed made, and he deserves this moment. So, yeah, there's nothing more to say. This was exactly what it needed it to be. Anthony Florio, it is all yours. 3 stars, no doubt. With the unprecedented crowning, with the crowning of a new United States Heavyweight Champion in LA Knight. He did it. It happened. He's now the champion, and like we said, long awaited.
I think you mean long overdue. That's what you mean. I echo both of your sentiments here. I mean, you know, we've been waiting a long time for a moment like this. I mean, not since his days in TNA, when he was the TNA Impact Heavyweight Champion, when he was known as Eli Drake, and with the whole dummy button and the whole 9 yards, and then he went to NXT, became LA Knight, had the $1 million title. That was a cool visual, and even had the $1 Million Man. But nonetheless, I mean, this is his biggest win, probably since winning the TNA Heavyweight Championship all those years ago. I think it was like 6 or 7 years ago he won that TNA Heavyweight Championship. And I mean, we've been waiting and waiting and waiting. I mean, we knew this moment was going to happen. I mean, we were hoping it would have been WrestleMania, but unfortunately, they held off on it. They waited until here, but that's okay. Let's not forget, SummerSlam is the second biggest event on the WWE calendar, only behind WrestleMania. Me personally, I don't see it that way, but that's I know that's how they feel about it. For me, the Royal Rumble, in my opinion, is the real second biggest event behind Mania. But that's a story for another day. But for right now, like Bullock said, better late than never. I mean, a solid match here, no doubt about it. And 3.25 to 3.5 is my rating for it. Well deserved, long overdue. And now, MF, you've got two ridiculously over champions that not just all the fans can be proud of, but kids can be proud of, especially. I mean, the young kids, especially. One a little more than the other, because we all know LA Knight is, he's got that brashness about him. He's a little more edgier than the other champion is, but of course, the other champion, of course, caters more to the families and the kids, and rightfully so. But that's not to say he's not into that either. But I've seen some moments with him interacting, but long overdue, journeyman wrestler. I mean, he's in his 40s. I mean, he's right around our age, MF, maybe a little older than us, but still, you think of everything he's been through all these years, and for him to finally get this moment and become the United States heavyweight champion, awesome. 3.25, 3.5. This was the personal moment for myself and Bullock. I mean, we're definitely gonna enjoy this one. So, 3.25, 3.5, and with that, let's move on to our next title match.
Yeah, the next title match was for the WWE Women's title, as it was Nia Jax going up against Bayley. And with this matchup, the winner of the bout in 12 minutes and 30 seconds, and new WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax. And this was a crazy sequence, because at first it looked like that she was actually hinting about possibly going after the money, that she was actually hinting about trying to cash in. Once she did, Tiffany Stratton thought about cashing in the money in the bank, but got taken out by Bayley. But that gave Nia the opening. The next thing we know, Nia absolutely just crushes Bayley, takes her down, and lo and behold, we have ourselves a new champion. Basically got crushed in the mayhem, and the next thing we know, she actually gets annihilated, not once but twice. And I basically said it. You can count to 1,000. We got a new champion. History made. Nia has done it. They made the announcement, and I said an absolute dominating performance by the Irresistible Force. And fellas, we have a new women's champion in Nia Jax. It was about you could say about a 3-star bout, and on top of that, you can even say this was Nia's personal best. Bayley made Nia look like a star last night, and rightfully so. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it is yours. Nia Jax, the new women's champion.
This bout had a steady pace, but they slowed down when it was time to sell big spots. They included some callbacks to their previous matches from the last decade also. And after the Queen of the Ring caught Bayley during a tope suicida hit a Samoan drop, it felt like an eventual win was a foregone conclusion until the role model somehow hit a powerbomb. Tiffany Stratton ran down and with her briefcase, but was knocked off the apron by Bayley, and Jax used the opportunity to hit 2 powerbombs and 2 annihilators for the pin and the win. Bayley looked like she was channeling her hugger persona with her ring attire, and Jax bounced high off after missing a leg drop, and it took the crowd a while to get into this one. So give it about 3.25, maybe 3.5 at best. But now I hate to be the man who tells it like it is here, but MF, you better than anybody know that myself and Michael Bullock are not exactly the biggest Nia Jax fans, honestly.
Agreed. I understand.
Because she does come off as a little annoying, if I'm going to be, annoying, irritating, and at the point of go away,
and
right,
a
Bullock?
bully.
Yes, and of course, with her reputation in the past, especially after what she did to Becky, that last Raw before the Survivor Series, November of 2018.
Yeah, and I can't let the memory of that go.
I never will let that memory go either, especially but nonetheless, even though Bullock and I, we're not fans of her personally, professionally, she's doing the best work right now, and you could say this is she does somewhat deserve this moment, and she won the Queen of the Ring, she's now the WWE Women's Champion, and now we've got a story here with Tiffany Stratton in that briefcase, this whole queen princess thing. So you now have a compelling story there on SmackDown. I mean, you've been outside of the bloodline. You've been waiting for another storyline to be just as exciting as that one. Now you got one. Tiffany could cash that thing in whenever she sees fit. But now she's got to answer to Nia now. Nia's got it, and as long as she's holding that thing, I don't know. But one day, I feel she will turn on her one day. We don't know when that is, but it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It will happen eventually. So, were we disappointed by the no cash-in? Yeah, a little. I'll be honest, but let's see where this goes. Let's see where it goes. So, 3.25, teetering on 3.5. Michael Bullock, I mean, we may not like this outcome, personally, but professionally, she has improved. She's gotten better in the ring, and WWE obviously, recognized that, and they rewarded her. They gave her the title. So, but now, watch out for Tiffany Stratton. Now we've got ourselves we got another compelling story on SmackDown, along with the Bloodline drama.
Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, personally, I don't like her because of the reputation she's had, especially where she's injured so many women's wrestlers. I mean, but none bigger than Becky Lynch, which robbed us of the matchup at Survivor Series with Becky against Ronda Rousey, and she became the most hated woman in WWE when that happened. And I can't let that go. But professionally, this has got to be her best work right now. I mean, say what you want about her, but I guess you could say she deserves this moment, and she validates her winning the Queen of the Ring tournament, because I think this is the right move. Because here's the thing, guys: what would have happened if Bayley somehow retained the title, or Tiffany cashed in? People would have said, okay, what was the point of putting the Queen of the Ring crown on her?
Yeah.
If you want to validate her winning that tournament, she had to win the women's title at SummerSlam. Because we've criticized the whole King and Queen of the Ring the last time they had it. But this time around, her winning this title validates her winning that tournament. So, 3.25 stars. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, there's really nothing more to say. You pretty much validated everything on that part. So we're gonna move on. Next up, we had was Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. Special guest referee was Seth freaking Rollins. Drew McIntyre gets the win in 17 minutes. Anthony Florio. There's some people coming out here saying Punk screwed Punk. That basically He is to blame for losing that match last night. What says you?
I hate to say it, but they're right. He did. He absolutely did.
I concur.
He was obsessed over that bracelet. He was obsessed over that AJ and Larry bracelet. I mean, I can understand why, because AJ, of course, his wife AJ Lee, and his little dog Larry. I mean, I've seen everything on social media about that. I follow the guy on social media. I'll admit it. Drew McIntyre stared daggers at CM Punk as he made his entrance. Seth Rollins gave both men instructions before calling for the bell. The crowd going wild as they started trading hands gave this a big fight feel. They weren't trying to have a technical contest. They were trying to hurt each other. They threw and swung each other into anything that looked like it would cause pain. This was another match that was more about the story than the individual moves. Nobody will call this a clinic, but it was a highly enjoyable tale they told in the ring. The way Seth Rollins was lying on the top turnbuckle as they fought at ringside was hilarious, tranquilo, if you will. The slaps that Punk and McIntyre hit looked stiff. And, he got his bracelet back for a moment, and then Seth Rollins intercepted it. Punk, that made Punk fuming, and that was pretty much the downfall right there. You should have left well enough alone on that one. But at the end of the day, Drew McIntyre, humongous win. This is a monumental win for McIntyre. He hasn't had, he needed a win desperately. I mean, something had to give here. I mean, this was CM Punk's first official, one-on-one match in over 10 and a half years. And Bullock and I, when we did the preview Friday night, we were thinking to ourselves, I don't know if they're going to have Punk lose his first match back. I mean, we focused way more on that. But at the same time, what we should have thought about was Drew McIntyre. I mean, he needed this win more, because of the fact that, coming so close to the World Heavyweight Championship and give him the win with the revenge factor. But this match was a carbon copy of SummerSlam 1997. There is no doubt about this whatsoever.
Taker versus Bret Hart.
Yes. With CM Punk as Bret Hart, Drew McIntyre as The Undertaker, and Seth Rollins as Shawn Michaels. And it went down almost exact, and that ended the exact same way that match did. The only difference was there was no steel chair involved, thank goodness. But, Rollins counted the first two, very reluctant to hit the three. He hit it, and then as he left, he did exactly what Shawn Michaels did, stormed off. I hope and pray this is not leading to a heel turn for Rollins. I really hope not. I really don't want that. He is way too over right now. Bullock and I have had way too much fun with his entrance, especially that Monday Night Raw we went to March of last year, where I got the video of us doing it. The whole burn it down, the Seth freaking Rollins song, the whoa, and the burn it down, and all that. But yeah, you know what happened in '97. The next night on Raw, Shawn Michaels turned heel. I hope and pray that doesn't happen again tomorrow night. I hope that does not happen. Seth is way too over. And Bullock and I mean, it'll take so much. It'll take so much out of us. It'll deflate us. It'll somewhat dampen our spirits here. So, and it's definitely going to take a little. It's definitely going to dampen the spirits when we go to Raw in 3 weeks. 3 weeks from tomorrow, guys, we got the big show at the Dunk, at the Amp rather. So, but we'll wait and see what happens. But monumental win for McIntyre. This is about 4 to 4.25 stars. Excellent match. We knew it would be. And, well, Michael Bullock, the age-old question. After what happened last night, what happens next? We're going to hear from both of these men tomorrow night on Raw in Baltimore.
Well, to me, I think this feud has to continue. I mean, I got a feeling that CM Punk's not done with Drew McIntyre after what happened last night, but I'm sure he's going to want to take care of some business with Seth freaking Rollins. And I'm with you too, Florio. I hope this doesn't lead to a Seth Rollins heel turn because he's just way over. And like you said, this has the feeling of 97 SummerSlam all over again. And I hope not, but with WWE, you never know. So, 4 stars for me. I mean, this was a really good match. I mean, yeah, like I said, me and Florio, we thought, I mean, we went with CM Punk because this was his first one-on-one match in 10.5 years in WWE. But then again, you also had to make the case that Drew needed it more because of the numerous times he was so close to winning the World Heavyweight Championship and literally getting screwed out of that one. So, and yeah, I agree. I mean, I think Punk screwed himself because he was so obsessed with that bracelet, and it led to his downfall. So 4 stars for me. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, you guys said it. It was the bracelet. But I understand why he was so mad. I totally get why he was pissed off. I get why he wanted it back because it's sentimental. It's sentimental more than anything else. So I mean, it was a bad situation. It was a bad thing for him. Now we'll see how it plays out. But you kind of are hinting a little bit that maybe we might be on the verge of a heel turn for Seth freaking Rollins. I know there's been rumors about maybe him turning heel. So if they do, obviously not the greatest moment, and I know Florio and Bullock will be angry and not happy about it. But let's see how it plays out. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. All right. With that said, next up was for the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest putting the title on the line against Gunther, the winner of the King of the Ring, the winner of the bout. 16 minutes and 40 seconds. And new World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General, Gunther. Michael Bullock, it is all yours. Gunther is the heavyweight champion of the world.
But the thing is, Fletch, he didn't do it by himself.
No, he did not.
Because of all the people, Finn Balor screwed him. I mean, Damian Priest was on the verge of defeating the Ring General, and then all of a sudden, Finn Balor puts Gunther's feet on the ropes. I'm sitting there like, what? Did he just do what I think he did? And you could just see the shocked look on Damian Priest's face.
Referee counts 2. MF is doing his traditional Gorilla Monsoon, saying, "Here we go, 1, 2," and then the feet on the, he's like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, and then MF just yells out one of the biggest "what the hells" I've ever heard him yell out.
Yeah, and Damian kicks out of Gunther's submission, and then he goes right after Finn Balor. Like, he literally wants to tear him apart. But
that was his downfall. He should have kept his eyes on the fight, and he got blinded by the rage, and that cost him.
Oh, yeah, he should have. But the thing is, can you blame Damian? Because I'm sure Damian would have thought the last person that would screw him was somebody that was part of the Judgment Day. And yeah, and you could just see the look on Balor's face, like no remorse, no feelings whatsoever. And Gunther took advantage of that situation, and he is now the new World Heavyweight Champion. And now the question is, guys, how long is Gunther going to hold that title? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Could it be longer than when he had the Intercontinental title? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But the thing is, when it comes to this, and I talked about this with you, Fletch, on Messenger. I think the way when it comes to Finn Balor, I think he was waiting a full year to get back at Damian Priest. Because you guys remember, SummerSlam last year, Finn Balor was this close to winning the World Heavyweight Championship from Seth freaking Rollins. And then Damian Priest tries to puts the briefcase in, and it ended up being the downfall for Finn Balor. And you saw the look on Finn Balor's face after the match was over. So I think Finn Balor was waiting one full year to get his measure of retribution. And I think also, going back to what happened at the beginning, I think Finn Balor, and you even said this, Fletch, that Finn Balor knew everything about what Dominic was and Liv were up to. And even D. Woodson brought it up. When Liv, parts of the Judgment Days, I don't know, what would you call it, Fletch? Like a
clubhouse.
A clubhouse. Everything else was destroyed except for one part.
Balor's.
That was Balor's. So I think and I saw it and I'm like thinking, wait a minute, Balor's wasn't touched?
Yeah, because okay,
something doesn't feel right here.
No, and let me say it, because it was very astute, because a great amount of fans pointed to this on social media, and that was that when Liv went on the rampage and destroyed the clubhouse, you noticed that all the merchandise, all the gear, everything got destroyed. JD's stuff got destroyed. Rhea's stuff got destroyed. But even that little mural, or that the mural of the Judgment Day, JD's thing was X'd out. Dom's was X'd out. Rhea was X'd out. But you notice the picture of Finn was not even touched.
So that's
it was
when
not
you,
touched
that's
at
when
all.
That's when you knew that, wait a minute, something still smells fishy here.
Well, the thing is, did you know it at the time? Or did you think, well, maybe that's a coincidence? You don't know. But here's the other thing. Remember the key card Liv gave to Dom. Dom's like, no, I have no idea about it.
And Finn took it.
Finn took it. What if Finn gave this to Dom and like, hey, you might want to go and at least listen to the girl. At least maybe she might be telling you something that you don't know about. And just open mind. Give her a chance with an open mind and everything else. Remember, there was a time where Liv and Dom came out together. Liv and Finn were walked out of a car heading to Raw together. And by the way, and I don't know if you guys know this, but there was a moment where Liv and JD McDonough also had a private moment together. Where were they talking Judgment Day business?
But now the question is, and you even brought this up, because we know JD is loyal to Finn.
Oh, he already made it abundantly clear on social media. He ripped the Judgment Day shirt off and has already pledged his loyalty to Finn Balor. So yeah, no.
So now the $1 million question is, where does Carlito stand with all this?
He is the wild card in the whole fact. Like, at least when it comes to this, he is the wild card. Nobody knows what he's going to do now.
Yeah, does he side with Damian and Rhea? Or does he side with Liv, Dom, Finn, and JD? That's the $1 million question that we're all going to be pondering.
The thing is with me is that I honestly think, and I truthfully believe this, I think he's going to side with Finn and the crew because
I think so too.
If you really think about it, if you honestly think about it, he didn't have a problem with all the merchandise and everything else. And if you notice, Damien was not really receptive of Carlito joining the group. And on top of that, Rhea also wasn't really receptive of Carlito hanging around in the Judgment Day's clubhouse. So, I mean, that there.
Starting together, and like I said, if you thought Rhea was pissed and angry after what happened earlier in the night, think of the state of mind of Damian Priest now.
Oh my God.
He is going to unleash hell, not just on Dom, but Finn Balor as well. Those two are going to be on an absolute warpath. But the problem is, it's only the two of them.
Yeah.
And then you got Liv Morgan, you got Dominic, you got Finn Balor, you got JD McDonough, and we think Carlito is going to side with them. That's 5. How are Rhea and Damian going to get their payback when it's literally 5-on-2?
Yeah.
We're going to have to wait and see how this all plays out. But
I have to ask, because is it possible we get, I don't know, maybe Jey Uso helps out? At least this time around?
Very possible, because remember, it was Jey Uso who said, look, if Dom dumps you, I can give you my number.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah. And let's not forget another thing too. Damien's got a little more respect for Jey Uso as well, because you saw in the kickoff he even did a little heat himself.
Yep.
So maybe the two of them could have Jey Uso help out, but we'll wait and see. We'll find out when it all come tomorrow night. But the big story once again is Gunther is the new World Heavyweight Champion, and like I said, how long is he going to be the champ? We'll have to wait and see. But Fletch, as I give this to you, a lot of major falling outs with this match.
Yeah, a lot of major falling outs. There's no doubt in my mind. We have a new World Heavyweight Champion, and it is the Ring General Gunther. He wins the title, wins it going away, and yeah, historic moment, no doubt about it. And the right man, deservingly so, is now the heavyweight champion of the world. I think we all kind of agreed that it was going to be him that was going to win the title, and sure enough, it did. So yeah, congratulations to the new champion himself, and we're gonna have to wait and see how this plays out. But yeah, there's really nothing more to add, and yeah, history made, and now we got to see how this plays out down the line. And yeah, this was incredible, man. So definitely great matchup. Another, you could say, 4 stars, and Anthony Gunther, the Ring General, the heavyweight champion of the world now.
Oh man, and Monday Night Raw and Raw Monday nights are going to be very, very interesting with him as the champ now.
Oh yeah.
Ratings. Oh my goodness. He's going to hold that thing as long as he wants to, guys. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he held the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship 666 days. He held the UK title 870 days. Don't be surprised if this World Heavyweight title reign is just as long as one of those two, or even longer than both. You never, ever know. But I'm here for it. This ended up being one of the best fights of the night and made both competitors look worthy of the world title. Gunther celebrated as Balor glared at his fallen former friend. Gunther already had marks on his chest before they got started. This was the hardest hitting match in terms of the strikes. They were not holding back much, if at all. Both men were bleeding from the chest. They were battered and bruised by the end. This was a be a man fight like we knew it would be. 4 1/4, teetering on 4.5. to that point, it was the fight of the night for me. This outcome, never in doubt. I'm not at all surprised that they pulled the trigger on this. And good, Damian had some hope spots. He really did. Got MF all hyped up, but man, when Finn Balor put the foot on the rope, MF just absolutely lost his mind. I mean, MF lost it because I had MF as very partial to Damian Priest in this one, and then when he passed out and the referee stopped the match, MF was like, "Damn it, no!" And I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" And Bullock had his tirade moment with Dominic at the start. This is where MF lost his mind, and not in a good way. So, oof, my goodness. But 4.25, 4.5. This was, at this point, it was the fight of the night. And then, gentlemen, it's main event time, and this was approaching all-time status. And well, let's just say this put it over the top, just about.
Yeah, and it was the main event for the WWE Championship, as it was the champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, putting the title on the line against the challenger Solo Sikoa. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout, and still the WWE champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. And oh my goodness, look who came to the party. Now, it was Bloodline rules, so you knew everybody was going to get involved at one point or not, and it ended up being that way. So you had all the members of the Bloodline, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, Jacob Fatu, they all got involved. Then on Cody's side, he had Kevin Owens, he had Randy Orton. They both came back. But then there was one other person that came to the party, and this was the biggest one of them all.
Acknowledge me!
Well, Michael Bullock just kind of let the cat out of the bag. It was indeed the tribal chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, showed up. So, big moment for us. Absolute. I mean, you want to talk about the crowd going bonkers. They exactly did that. And Roman did indeed have an impact. He helped. And he helped Cody Rhodes successfully defend the title. So, nothing more to say. It was obviously fight of the night. It was obviously the best main event of the evening. And more importantly, Cody successfully defending the title. We didn't know how they were going to get there, but they did. And Roman Reigns ended up being the better factor when it was all said and done. So, nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, this was easily fight of the night status. You could easily call this maybe. I'll go easily. I'll say about 4.5 stars for me. So it's yours.
Yeah, 4.5. All right. They started with a relatively simple exchange, especially for a match with fewer rules than usual. It wasn't until Cody hit a tope suicida that business started to pick up. They tried to sell each move individually, but it led to a slower pace than expected for a long time. Everything they did looked good, even if it felt like they should be doing more. And then out of nowhere, Roman Reigns' music hit to generate a massive otherworldly pop inside Cleveland Browns Stadium. He walked to the ring calmly, took out Solo with the Superman punch and a spear. Cody and Roman traded a look before Cody hit Crossroads to win. This was exactly what everyone expected it to be, but sometimes that's because the obvious call is the right one. And you heard Solo's trash talking, more audible than usual. The mask Cody had was just big enough on his head, and it was almost like what we saw at WrestleMania when he came out. Solo speared Cody when he was holding the steel steps, and they popped out of his hands and bounced off the ropes enough to almost land on them. scary moment there. But the big talking point out of this, obviously, on a night full of them, from what happened with mainly because of what happened with the Judgment Day and the title switches. We had enough bombs that went off. We needed one more to put this over the top as an all-timer, and we got it with the original tribal chief, the OTC. You saw the new shirt, OTC, original tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Boom, Superman punch, spear. You saw that look. I saw that look. I basically was, being a funny haha. For me, when I saw Roman's look, he was saying, I had him saying in the back of my mind, "You think I forgot about you, MFer? You think I forgot about you?" No, I haven't. And then, but also at the same time, him saying, like the Undertaker said to The Rock at the King of the Ring 2000, "You owe me one, USOB." So, but we'll have to wait and see. So, 4.5 stars, fight of the night. If I'm going to be honest with you, the WrestleMania Bloodline Rules match was better, if I'll be honest. But that's not to say this was bad either. That's not to say that this was a disaster or anything. But it was a very good match, to say the least. Another expected outcome, and wow, nothing more to say here. 4.5 stars, fight of the night. And Michael Bullock, what else is there to say except let the Bloodline Civil War begin?
Oh, yes, the Bloodline Civil War has begun, and now with the return of the original tribal chief, and yeah, there's he wants Solo badly, and he's probably like, "Hey, I taught you everything, and this is how you repay me by trying to take my reign? No, it ends until I say I'm done." And last time I checked, Fletch and Florio, Roman's not done yet. And he wants to show everyone why he is still the original tribal chief. And I think we all know where this is going. Of course, I think Roman and Solo needs to happen at the earliest possible date. And it's going to happen, I think, at the Bash in Berlin. So we'll wait and see what happens. But yeah, Bloodline Civil War has begun, and this Civil War, I think, is going to culminate at Survivor Series in, let's just say, what does William Regal like to say, Florio?
War Games!
Exactly.
November 30th, Vancouver.
Yep, as you heard the announcement earlier this week. So, yeah, 4.5 stars, fight of the night, hands down. I mean, the WrestleMania Bloodline Rules match was better. I mean, it's not to say that this one sucked. I mean, it was still a damn good Bloodline Rules match, but the one at WrestleMania was better because you had everything in there. I mean, Jey Uso showing up, but you had the two big pops with the returning John Cena, and of course, then The Rock comes out. But of course, gentlemen, what was the biggest pop of that night?
The Undertaker.
The Undertaker showing up and showing the final boss who the real final boss was. The Phenom, the Dead Man. So, yeah, 4.5 stars, fight of the night. A crazy way to close out what was a really good SummerSlam. Was it good enough to overtake 2002? Well, let's give our overall thoughts on this.
Anthony Florio, you lead off.
8.5 to 9 out of 10 from me. This year's SummerSlam featured 4 title changes, 2 betrayals, and a huge return. Both mid-card titles found new homes, with LA Knight as the new United States Heavyweight Champion and Braun Breaker as the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, the new Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, while Nia Jax won the WWE Women's Championship and Gunther became the new World Heavyweight Champion. While all of this sounds like a lot, and it is, this pay-per-view was also highly predictable. Just about everything you expected to happen happened, and everyone you expected to show up made an appearance. Damian Priest and Gunther, I thought, had the best performance out of the 7 matches, but nobody who competed last night can be accused of giving a bad display. Roman Reigns' return is going to be the most newsworthy thing to come out of this show. But with all of the different storyline developments we saw, Raw and SmackDown are both going to be very interesting this week. The Bloodline and the Judgment Day are both in turmoil, so we can expect a lot of angry people looking for revenge this week, and we are all going to be here for it. So there isn't anything else left for me to say. Did it surpass 2002? If I'm going to be honest with you, not quite. But it's definitely top 10 material. No doubt about it. It's easily a top 10 SummerSlam. So I got to go 8.5 to 9 out of 10. So that's my story. I don't know how these guys feel about it. If they agree, if they disagree, if they have it higher, lower, I don't know. But I feel like 8.5 to 9 is the correct rating for this. So that's my story. Sticking to it. Michael Bullock, what's that view?
Yeah, 8.5 to 9 for me as well. I mean, like you basically hit the nail with everything that you mentioned. So Fletch, you have the final say.
I will go. I'm gonna openly admit, and I'm gonna say it's an 8.5 for me. But I'll even go and I'll even say this. If you want my honest opinion, ladies and gentlemen, it is the second best pay-per-view that WWE has done all year. I would say the only one that was better was WrestleMania. I think WrestleMania is right now my pay-per-view of the year for WWE. And as far as it goes, I would say that yes, that they would be right now number 2 overall. I think it's an 8.5 out of 10. And I would even say, as far as overall SummerSlams would go, I would openly say that I would actually consider it a top 5 SummerSlam. That this probably goes into the top 5 of the greatest SummerSlams of all time. I'm not going to say it's number 1. I think 2002 is, without a doubt, the greatest SummerSlam of them all. But I would definitely say that this is actually top 5 worthy, if that makes any sense. So, no, with that said, we're done. We're out of here. So we thank everybody for watching, guys. We hope you guys have a wonderful evening. We'll be back tomorrow night for Ridiculously Raw on the Tone 25. And until then, for Anthony Florio, and Michael Bullock, I am Michael Fletcher saying so long, everybody, and have a good night.